it's Black Rat from 287 and welcome to the channel. So today we're gonna do the video about the aiding skills for this Eden bounty, because tomorrow, I mean if I put this video tonight, I guess I will. So tomorrow the war gonna start, and it's gonna important for you guys to know about the aiding skills, with what combos, heroes we can pair them to get the best of it. So we're gonna go on the bounty and we're gonna watch all those skills. So there's some that we already had in few seasons back. We got some new ones. So let's see. So the first, we start with Edward the Confessor. So we already got this. So starting from round 3, physical damage of 2 random squads of your side can be increased by 30% each round, stackable for 4 times till the battle end. So it's a very nice skill. I really recommend this skill, especially with legions like Harald, because Harald does more damage after the 3rd round, actually, because he have the skills that he gonna only trigger in the late rounds. So this gonna be actually can be paired with many damage legions, but not really with glass cannon, because glass cannon gonna be doing damage on the 3 first rounds. So it's gonna not be that much beneficial for legions like this. So it's gonna way be better to play these with legions who do a lot of damage through the rounds, and Harald is really the must-have for this. So for me, Edward the Confessor must be with, the first choice would be with Harald. I'm actually gonna write it so I can not forget to give you at the end some kind of ideas how to pair all of this. So Edward. Then we have Warhammer. So Warhammer, I'm not a big fan of this skill, actually. It's gonna be good to play against healing combos. If you have legions who doesn't have heal. Why? Because this is gonna give a double effect. So as you can see, the troop recovery, so it's the healing for both enemy and friendly squads. So enemy and friendly, you and the opponent. So you're gonna lose 25% of healing starting round 4. The troop power recovery for all enemy squads gonna be minus 50% each round. So this only gonna be for the enemy. This effect stacks at last until the end of the combat. So yeah, I don't like to put this with healing legions, because you're gonna lose some heal. So it's gonna be good to counter healing, but you need to use a legion that don't have healing. So you can, I'm going to take some free-to-play examples. So you can put this within the Ata, for example, who don't have heal at all. You can possibly put this with the Henry also, the legions with Henry, Alhaura, well, it's not free-to-play, but Alhaura Sakura, or even Hunk Sakura Henry. All the legions that don't have healing, this is going to work. So not a problem to use with those legions, but don't use this with Harald. Really, it's going to be a big mistake. Then we have Hellfire. So this one I think we never got. So 50% chance to recover the team with the lowest troops amount, the lowest troop power, exactly. So it's the legion that have the less HP, the less life, gonna get healed. Recovery rate is 270%, 50% chance. It's an okay heal, but it's not huge. And it's gonna clear the debuff state of 2 random teams of the other side. So this actually is great. So it can work with almost everything. But I will think that it's gonna be better with defensive legions. So with Harald, it's gonna be good. It's gonna be good. You can also use it with Henry, because Henry, the problem that he can get silenced or confused. So the debuff gonna be very important for him. So he's gonna not let that much impacted. Also, the new hero like Olive will have the same problem, because have a lot of damage, but he can get silenced. So So the silences, the confusions, all the states gonna be really hard for him. So this can be really used with heroes like this. Yeah, defensive legions also, so can work with almost everything. It's a good skill actually. The next we have Sakura. So we already got first 3 turns, 2 random enemy squads gonna take 50% additional damage. So this skill obviously gonna be to be paired with glass cannon legions 100%. It's a very good skill. So you cannot put this with Alhara and Sakura because Sakura is already there, but you can, for example, use this with Sendiata, of course. With Sendiata going to be really great because Sendiata does lot of damage in the first 3 rounds, so it's going to be really great to put. Actually, it's the best legion to put with it. It's going to be 100% with Sendiata. Now we have the skill of Bjorn. So on the first 3 turns, 2 random enemy squads within rage gonna have damage minus 30%. On turn 4, these squads become confused, attack, and cast skills on random targets for 2 turns. So this skill is one of my favorites this season. Absolutely one of my favorites. And the thing is that it's going to be very useful, strongly useful to beat, for example, all horror legions that we see everywhere, and that is really strong. This is going to be very good against it. So it's an anti-skill for glass cannon, so legions that are full damage like Sendiata and Alhara Henry or Beowulf. So very strong counter skill. So this can be used with absolutely everything. It's going to give the result. So just use it. You can, for example, use on your main legion. If, for example, your main legion that you're using can't beat Alhara, and we're going to meet a lot of Alhara in the fights, you can use this to try to counter the Alhara. So many options are very possible with this skill. Now we go for Pepin, Power of Staff. So for every 6 combat skills cast by all squad of your side, 100% chance to increase the combat skill damage of 2 squads of your side within the valid range by 35%, so good. And apply a life steal effect. The squad with the effect use 50% of the damage dealt to restore their troop power lasting for 1 round. So you're going to heal yourself on the damage that you're going to make. And we're going to do more damage. But this is going to be very important to pair with combat skills legion. Because if you don't, it's not going to trigger or not going to trigger enough. So legions with combat skills. We can put, for example, the legions with Don Quixote, with Bleeding Steed and Asdrubal, for example. One of the best also for this going to be the legions with Don, Roland, and Tura Cartel. They all have combat skills. So in my opinion, it's going to be actually a good choice to go for the cavalry legions like Don, Roland, Tura. For me, very good. It's going to increase your damage, add some life steal. It's a legion that already have some healing, so it's going to heal in even more. So really good, for me, really a good option for the legions with Tura Cartel. It's going to be really a good balance. Then we have a Power of Love, so we have Farah. In the first 3 rounds, all your squad damage deal in normal attacks and additional attacks, plus 80%, meanwhile 100% damage chance to deal damage to enemy regardless the dodging status. So it's going to be avoid the dodging status. So Farah skill is a good skill, but the problem is that we don't really have legions that this is going to work actually right now in the meta. We don't really have legions who are based on basic attacks, additional attacks, except Beowulf. So this can work with Beowulf for sure. But except that, of course, this is made to work with Sendiata because Sendiata have additional attacks. So yeah, there's not a good legion to use right now with this. For me, the skill, just put it aside. Now we go for Song of El Cid, so 70% chance each round for 2 random squads of your side to have 50% more chance to cast skills that need prep and apply a shield to the squad, making the damage taken by the squad minus 35% for subsequent 2 times, lasting for 1 round. So simple. This is a good skill also, but this is made to be paired with heroes with prep skill, and there's only one legion that you can really use with prep skill, and it's going to be also the legions with Roland and Tura Cartel, because Roland is made for that, Tura Cartel also, Don Quixote also. So actually Don, Roland, Tura, it's going to be made for this skill. It's going to be working very nicely. Pepin also, actually. So those 2 skills actually will really work very nicely with Tura Cartel. For me, it's really for this. Now we go for the skill of healer. So we have the 2 effects are applied independently each round. So 70% 5 chance to reduce the damage caused by 2 random enemy squads by 50%. So you reduce the damage of 50% of your enemies. Of 2 squads, right? Caused by 2, yes, 2. And 75% to chance to increase the damage taken by 2 random enemy squads by 50%. So you make 2 squads to do less 50% damage, and you're gonna increase the damage took by 2 squads with 50% damage. So it's a good skill. It's not a bad skill at all. The thing is that you can use this with actually absolutely everything, to be honest. I think this skill got modified because you have this thing there. I don't think you have this this buff, the same buff. I actually never checked, but for me the buff of healer is not really like this. The skill of healer. Where she is? Where she is? Oh, I saw her. Okay. It's the last skill. Does she have this? The 2 effects are applied. 50% chance to reduce the damage caused. Okay, yeah, it got really buffed a lot. So yeah, that's actually very good. It's a nice reducing damage, and it's a protection skill and also a damage skill. Yeah, so this basically can be used everywhere. In any legion it's gonna work, so there's no really recommendation for me to tell you this is gonna be good in absolutely all legions. Yeah, actually it's gonna be great for everything. So let's make a kind of idea that how you can use. So I'm gonna just put, of course, I'm going to take the free-to-play setup, we're going to say. So we're going to imagine that you have a legion with Harald. You're going to probably have a legion with Tura Cartel. Then you're going to also have a legion with Henry. So let's say that you don't have Alhara, so you're going to use probably Henry with Hunk. And then what legion you're gonna have? You're gonna have Sendiata, of course. And if you saw my video, one legion that I love to use also, it's gonna be done with Bleeding and Hasdrubal. So I use actually for Cavalry Tura, I prefer to use Roland with Roland and Bjorn and Tura. So we're gonna base ourselves in this setup. So for me, if I was going to choose, my main legion would be between, because obviously my main legion will be Harald in this setup, will be used to Edward the Confessor, obviously made for this legion to increase your damage. Then another option, of course, the healer, that's going to work with absolutely everything. And also the option to use Bjorn Legion. If you are getting beat too much by all Harald agents, you can use Bjorn. So those are the 3 I recommend. Then when we go for Tura, the legions with Tura Cartel, so it's going to be the Pepin skill or the Seed skill, sorry. So In my opinion, I would probably go more for Seed. I think it's a little bit stronger, but you can try the two and see what's going to feel the most. They are a bit different, but probably the combat skills, we don't going to cast so much combat skills with Bjorn. So yeah, I would still go. For me, main option will be Seed, then could be Pepin. The healer also. The healer can work with everything. I cannot really say it's going to be better for this or for that. It's a general buff debuff, so it's going to work. So that's it for Tura. For Henry, we can actually use what we. I think I would probably go for this, in my opinion, because combat skills. The legions with Henry, Sakura have a bit of a combat skills, but it's not a lot, so it's not gonna cast really much. This is not gonna work. Well, we can put an Hellfire actually. Why not? Yeah, Hellfire will be not bad to help Henry to not get silence. Or a Bjorn, so I would say Hellfire, Bjorn will work very nicely in my opinion. And then when we go for Sendiata, so for Sendiata would be the option to use Warhammer to beat the healing legions, or obviously to use the Sakura one to increase the damage, so you have the both choice. I would probably prefer to go for Sakura, and then second option Warhammer. And then for the legion that I recommended also, which is Dawn Bleeding Steed Asdrubal. If I remember correctly, they have some combat skills. I'm not sure, but Asdrubal I think have combat skills also. So I think it could actually work to use Pepin. Because combat skills no. So you have a combat skill here, but with a prep, so it's not gonna cast a lot. Asdrubal have one combat skill, two combat skills. Okay, so actually yes, they have, and the Bleeding Seed have also combat skills, so it can work. It can work with Pepin actually. But Pepin gonna increase lifesteal, combat damage. So it's a defensive legion, so it's not gonna be that great. Yeah, so for Dawn Bleeding Asdrubal, I would think that using a defensive thing like Hellfire would be really great because it's going to add some heal of this. It's a very defensive legion who's going to work with the healing. So yeah, adding some healing going to make this legion even more tanky. So yeah, I would probably use this one. This one can be used also, the Pepin one. But for me, in my opinion, Hellfire will be great also. Also, healer will be very great, yes, to debuff the enemy so it can't really do damage for you. Yeah, that's also a good option. So that's it. I try to give you some many options as a free-to-play, so you have to try. Me also, I'm going to try some of them. I'm still not sure what I'm going to use exactly with some legions, but we're going to see in the field how it's going to result and then choose the best as you think. So I hope this helped you a little bit to decide what aiding skill you're going to use for which legion. And I hope everyone going to have a very nice war. I see you soon for the next videos and peace out.